Table of contents. 1. What is the astral realm? 2. Starting out. 3. Projection training. 4. Basic energy work. 5. Astral rope technique. 6. More on the rope technique. 7. OBE and duality. 8. Waking paralysis. 1. What is the astral realm? Introduction. There are certain aspects of the astral dimension and the projection process that are very complicated. Much of it is misunderstood, and it can all be very confusing at times. This series of articles attempts to shed a little light on the subject and hopefully explain what it's all about. Theories and conclusions in this treatise are largely drawn from my own projection experience. It is the goal of this treatise to develop greater understanding and new, simpler, and more effective techniques for projection. The ideas, theories, and techniques discussed here are constantly under development and are subject to modification and change as new discoveries and insights come to light. What is the astral dimension? The astral is the closest dimension to the physical. It overlays and permeates the world like a huge mind net, catching and holding all thought. Its contents are created by the collective consciousness of the world mind. It contains all the thoughts, memories, fantasies, and dreams of every living thing in the world. In it, the laws of sympathetic attraction, or like attracts like, causes this ocean of mind stuff to strata and settle into layers or pools. These pools of thought are more commonly called astral planes, astral worlds, astral subplanes, or astral realms. The astral dimension is composed of astral matter and is aptly described as mind stuff. It is extremely sensitive to thought and can be molded into any shape or form. These creations can be so perfect as to be indistinguishable from reality. The best way to explain this mind stuff is to draw a comparison between astral matter and unexposed, high-speed photographic film. When this film is exposed to light, focused by the camera's lens, a perfect image of reality is instantly burnt into the film by the chemical reaction of the film to light. When astral matter is exposed to thought, focused by the lens of the mind, a perfect image of reality is instantly formed out of astral mind stuff by the reaction of astral matter to thought. The complexity and durability of any creation in the astral dimension depends largely on the strength of the mind doing the creating. Dreams. This is how the subconscious mind creates dreams. By tuning into the astral dimension during sleep, it can create any scenario it wishes. This is the subconscious mind's way of solving problems and of communicating with the conscious mind. It creates a series of complex thought forms, scenarios, and projects them into the mind stuff of the astral dimension where they become solid. The conscious mind then lives through and experiences these created scenarios in the dream state. In a way, it's like a movie projector, subconscious mind, projecting onto a movie screen. Astral dimension. Thought forms. Any new object in the real world is assimilated into the astral dimension over a period of time. A thought form representation of it first grows in the lowest part of the astral, close to the physical dimension, becoming more and more permanent as time goes on. As with all thought forms, the more attention paid to it, the quicker it grows. The higher up in the astral dimension, or the further away from the physical, the less thought forms of the physical world as we know it are found. Physical things have to soak into it for a very long time before they take shape, and are found in the higher astral. Have you ever tried to move around a strange house in the dark? You bump into everything, right? But as you become familiar with it, though, a mental picture of your surroundings forms in your mind, and you can find your way around it better. The longer you spend in this house, the stronger this mental picture becomes. This is similar to how things are assimilated and grown as thought forms in other dimensions. The generation of thought forms in the astral also works in the reverse. If a physical object has been around for a very long time, it will have grown a lasting thought form impression in the astral. After the object is destroyed or removed, its thought form still endures. You may, for example, in the astral, find furniture in your house you don't have, jumbled up with your own. This is caused by the decaying thought forms of old stuff, belonging to previous tenants, etc., still being there, years after the originals have gone. Old thought forms do not follow their physical counterpart around when they are moved. New ones begin to grow in the astral, wherever it is, while the old ones slowly decay. The longer a thing is in one place, the stronger the thought form will become in that place. This also applies to buildings, structures, and geological features. You may project into a park and find a house, bridge, stream, hill, etc., that you know is definitely not there. These may have existed in times past. The higher up in the astral you go, the older the thought forms are, or the further back in geological time you appear to be. The rate of growth of a thought form depends largely on the amount of attention paid to it. For example, a famous painting, loved, viewed, and highly thought of by millions, will have a much stronger thought form than that of a common painting that hangs in someone's bedroom, and is only viewed by a few. The number of thought forms you find in the astral also depends on how close you are to the physical dimension. If you are very close, as in a real-time projection or OBE, very few thought forms, if any, will be found. In a real-time OBE, you are not quite in the astral dimension, but are existing as an astral form in the buffer zone between the astral and the physical dimensions. Astral vision. In the physical body, we have 220 degrees of vision. That is, we can only see in front of us, but not behind, above and below at the same time. In the astral body, we have more than 360 degrees of vision, and can see on all sides at once. This is spherical vision. During projection, habit forces us to focus our attention in one direction only, where we feel the forward part of our vision is. The view behind, above, below, left, and right is still there and seen all at once, but it cannot be assimilated by the brain all at once. This goes against the brain's lifelong habit of frontal vision. Spherical vision is like being one huge, multifaceted eye that can see in all directions, up, down, left, right, front, back, but all at once. In the astral body, you do not have any physical organs, that is, eyes. You are a non-physical point of consciousness floating in space. You are also unaffected by gravity and other laws of physics. In this state, there are no ups or downs, backs or fronts, left or rights. It is only lifelong habit that tries to force this perspective on you during projection. It is important to understand spherical vision if you are to operate competently in the astral. This is especially so when you project in real time, close to the physical dimension. Spherical vision will often cause you to think you are in a mirror image dimension or a reversed copy of reality. This means your house, for example, will appear to be reversed, back to front. This is caused by you losing your original natural viewpoint during projection. At some point during the projection, you have become disoriented and taken a different viewpoint from normal. That is, you have rotated or turned upside down or inside without thinking. This reverses your natural left-right, up-down viewpoint. This tricks the subconscious mind into reversing the place you are in, so your conscious mind can function properly. As you don't have a physical body in the astral, if you want to look behind yourself, you don't have to turn around or move at all. You just change your viewpoint to the rear. This, when done without moving, causes the mirror image effect. In a way, it's like looking in a mirror to see behind. This causes the subconscious mind to use its creative power to correct the view by reversing it or parts of it. This is easier and causes fewer problems for the conscious mind than if it had to try and accept a reversal of left and right. A similar effect can be had by lying down and looking above your head, or standing on your head and trying to pick the left and right sides of things. This causes a slight confusion in your sense of left and right. That is, you have to consciously calculate which is left and right from your reversed position. This slight confusion is all that is needed to trick the subconscious mind into creating something easier to accept. Your brain is unable to assimilate this reversal, and thus gives you a new perspective according to what it feels is left and right at the time. Once you consciously notice this anomaly, it is too late to reverse it. The brain cannot accept a conscious change of left and right. If you understand spherical vision, though, and happen to get reversed sometime during a projection, it is no longer a problem. You can take it into account and function normally, rather than thinking you are wasting your time in some strange mirror dimension. That is, if you had plans to do something in the astral, you still can. All you have to do is take your left-right coordinates from the building or structure around you and ignore your own sense of left and right completely. Everything you see while you are in the astral dimension is directly perceived by the mind. It is a simple matter for the subconscious mind to twist or reverse all or even part of your conscious perception of reality during a projection. Note, this reversal of viewpoint can happen many times during any one real-time projection. Creative visualization power. The subconscious mind has vastly greater powers of visualization than the conscious mind. It is like comparing a supercomputer to a child's calculator. In the astral dimension, during any conscious projection or lucid dream where the conscious mind is aware, this difference can cause great confusion. The subconscious mind simmers beneath the surface during any projection. All that creative power is just bursting to get out, to create, and it will do just that, any chance it gets. This difference in creative power, combined with the lifelong habit of normal frontal vision, is the cause of the Alice in Wonderland effect. Let me explain. Take these together. 1. The incredible creative power of the subconscious mind. 2. The weak creative powers of the conscious mind. 3. The sensitivity of astral matter to thought. 4. Spherical vision. 5. Left-right sense reversals. And you have a recipe for total confusion. The Alice in Wonderland effect. You project your astral body and look around your room. Everything appears normal, but suddenly you notice the door is on the wrong wall. While looking around, you have seen this door with your rear vision, confusing your natural left-right brain perspective. The brain can't assimilate this because your frontal perspective and the position of the furniture, pictures, windows, etc. are normal, but the view behind you is reversed. This tricks the subconscious mind into creating a door where it thinks it should be. When you look at this door, it appears real, even though you know it is in the wrong place. Once it has been created, it will not be uncreated, as that would be unacceptable to your conscious mind, i.e., solid doors don't normally have a habit of vanishing before your eyes. When you turn to where the door really should be, you will usually find the door there as normal. Now you may have 2 or more doors where there should only be 1. If you go through the real door, you will find the rest of the house as it should be, hopefully. But if you go through a false door, the mind knows it's false and won't accept it opening to a normal part of your house that it knows can't possibly be there. So, if you open this door, you'll find something else. It is usually a corridor or passage you don't have, leading off into other parts of the house you don't have either. From then on, if you go through this door, you're in Wonderland, where everything is possible. just not very plausible. What you are doing, in effect, is entering the astral dimension via uncontrolled creation. Through this door you don't have, but now do. Once the subconscious mind starts creating like this, it continues to do so at a geometric rate. It has to, for the conscious mind to assimilate the abnormal situation it is in. At some stage in this creative maelstrom, the subconscious mind loses it completely and starts tuning into other parts of the astral. At this point of the projection, all semblance of reality is lost, and you fade into the astral dimension proper. There are many ways this Alice effect can happen during a projection. The above example is just one variation. It has been noted by many projectors that at some time during a projection, they seem to lose control of it. Objects appear, disappear, and generally everything gets a little strange. This is caused, basically, by the subconscious mind's vast creative ability being triggered. It starts making and unmaking things, and tuning into other areas of the astral, and generally making everything difficult for the poor projector. To avoid the above problem, concentrate on what you are doing while you are projecting and don't let your mind wander. The vision reversal problem can be minimized if you concentrate on your forward vision during projection. That is, focus in one direction at a time. When you turn, follow the room around with your vision, and don't allow it to flit from one view to another. The astral is not a good place to relax if you have serious plans. The vast creative power of the subconscious can, however, be utilized. It is an extremely valuable tool if you know how to use it. I will outline ways to do this in the third part of this series, under the heading Virtual Reality Projection, where I will outline how to custom create your own personal astral realm, melting hands. When you project the astral body close to the physical world, you do not have a body as such, but the mind cannot accept this, and so provides a thought form, one made out of etheric matter. If you try and look at your body, say your hands, you will find they start to melt very quickly. They look pale and odd. And in a couple of seconds, your fingers start to melt away, like ice under a blowtorch. They shorten into pale stumps. Then the rest of your hand and arm starts to melt away too. This melting effect only seems to happen when you deliberately try and observe a body part or consciously create something. Deliberately observing an astral body part like this uses the conscious mind, which, having poor creative powers, can't hold complex shapes together for very long. And it is this that causes the melting effect. If you happen to notice parts of your body in passing during projection, this melting effect will not be seen. Created thought form objects. You can use your conscious mind to create objects while projecting. The duration of these thought form created objects depends on the strength of your creative visualization ability. It also depends on how much time and effort you put into a creation. This same melting phenomena happens with any conscious creation done in the astral dimension. If you create, for example, a sword, it will appear in your hand just as you imagine it briefly, and then melt away, just like the hand did. If you concentrate on it, you can hold it in shape. But as soon as your concentration wavers, so does the creation. This is similar to any other visualization you do in the real world. It is difficult, and you have to concentrate to hold the visualization in your mind's eye. Once your concentration wavers, so does the visualized image. This illustrates the vast difference between the creative powers of the conscious and the subconscious mind. To make a lasting thought form object, you have to trick the subconscious mind into creating it for you. I will deal with this subject in greater depth later in the series. How does projection happen? During sleep, the energy body, also known as the etheric body or vitality sheath, is put on charge. It expands and opens in order to accumulate and store energy. The energy body can normally only do this in its expanded state during sleep. Once expanded, the chakras trickle power in the form of etheric matter into the energy body. During this recharging process, the astral body separates and tunes into the astral dimension where it can create and experience dreams. If this separation is done consciously, or if you become aware after it, you can take some control over it. It then becomes an OBE, astral projection or lucid dream. The main differences between an OBE, astral projection, and a lucid dream are the OBE, the OBE, out-of-body experience, is a real-time projection close to the physical world. This often occurs as part of a near-death experience. This is where a person is knocked out of their body as a result of some kind of severe trauma, that is, car accident, surgery, heart attack, childbirth, etc. OBEs are aware of things happening in the real world in real time, such as conversations and events centered around or near to their physical body. In many cases, these events and conversations are accurately reported by the person after they have returned to their body. Note, the OBE is slightly different from astral projection or lucid dreaming because of its real-time objective aspect. This is caused by the astral body containing a large amount of etheric matter, which holds it close to the physical world. There are two main causes of real-time OBE. 1. A person's body is near death, or thinks it is, which causes a large amount of etheric matter to be channeled into the astral body in preparation for the death process. 2. A person has active chakras which are doing a similar thing, that is, channeling etheric matter into the astral body. Having active chakras can be a natural ability, or it can be developed by training. Note, you can project consciously and have a real-time OBE if enough etheric matter is generated by the chakras. In an OBE, reality is perceived as objective, real, and time is normal, real time. Technically, when you project into the physical world in real time, as in an OBE, it is really into the boundary area of the buffer zone between the physical and astral dimensions. If the astral body contains enough etheric matter, it can exist only slightly out of phase from reality. This means the projection is in real time and so close to the physical dimension as to be indistinguishable from it. Note, I have checked this many times by projecting in real time during the day and scouting my local area for roadworks, accidents, incidents, etc., then verifying the accuracy of my findings afterwards. There are strong natural barriers to conscious real-time projection, the OBE in the physical world. The amount of etheric matter generated and channeled to the astral body is one of them. It limits the duration of any real-time projection to the degree of chakra development and control, the astral projection. This is where the astral body is projected into the astral dimension, where things are quite different from the real world. Time is distorted and extended. That is, an hour in the astral can be like a few minutes in the physical dimension, depending on what part of the astral you are in. Reality is fluid and changeable. The lucid dream. This is where a person becomes fully aware that they are dreaming during a dream. They either take some kind of conscious control over the course of events, or they convert the experience into an astral projection. Lucid dreaming is more similar to an astral projection than to an OBE, as time and reality are distorted. Astral projection or lucid dream. Many astral projectors black out before making a conscious exit from their body and return to awareness in the astral dimension. You become aware after the actual separation from the physical body and are usually already in the astral dimension. If you miss the conscious exit from your body, you are technically having a lucid dream, not an astral projection as you have become aware after separation. All three types of projection are closely related. That is, they all involve the astral body separating from the physical and experiencing a reality separate from the physical body. 2. Starting out. After the physical body has fallen asleep, the astral body always projects into the physical world. Once the energy body has expanded, The astral body floats free and hovers just above the physical body, but within the expanded energy body's field of influence. Within this field, known as chord activity range, the astral body is held close to the physical world, as it is within a field of etheric matter. During a conscious astral projection, it may appear as if you're projecting straight into an astral plane. But there is always an intermediary phase at the beginning, when you are existing as an astral form close to the physical dimension. This real-time part of any projection may be missed if you black out at the moment of projection. The area around the body, within chord activity range, is flooded with etheric matter, and within this field, the astral body is held in real time, close to the physical dimension. Etheric matter. Etheric matter is the actual life force substance generated by all living things by simply being alive. It is a substance in between physical matter and astral matter, part physical and part astral. This etheric matter has actual weight. It is a very refined substance in between matter and energy, and is similar to its coarser cousin, ectoplasm. There have been scientific studies done on this phenomena. Dying people in hospitals have had their beds placed on delicate scales shortly before death and hooked up to EEG and ECG monitors. In all cases, at the exact moment of death, a sudden weight loss of approximately 1/4 of an ounce is observed. This is caused by a large amount of etheric matter being transferred into the astral body at the moment of physical death. This is similar to the sudden transfer of etheric matter into the astral body during a near-death experience where the body believes it is dying. This sudden, massive transfer of etheric matter is the start of the death process. Ectoplasm. Ectoplasm has been studied in a similar fashion. Materialization mediums have been placed on delicate scales and then asked to produce ectoplasm onto another set of fine scales. These mediums were observed to lose weight at exactly the same rate as the weighed ectoplasm gained weight. When the medium reabsorbed the ectoplasm, this weight transfer was reversed. Ectoplasm is produced by the chakras. It converts part of the physical mass of the medium's body into another substance, ectoplasm, interdimensional manifestation. Any non-physical or disincarnate entity, including the astral body, in order to function in real time, close to the physical dimension, must contain etheric matter. Without etheric matter, non-physical entities fade back into their dimension of origin. Etheric matter can only be obtained from living inhabitants of the physical world. Energy flow. The famed silver cord does more than just tie the two bodies together. It is a true umbilical cord, transmitting information and energy between the physical and subtle bodies. It is seen by some projectors and not seen by others. Sometimes it is seen emanating from the navel, sometimes from the forehead. The area the cord is seen emanating from may depend on chakra activity. Whichever chakra is the strongest, most active, could have control of energy flow to the subtle bodies. There is also the belief system of the projector to consider, and the creative power of the subconscious mind. The cord will usually appear to be wherever you believe it will be, courtesy of the subconscious. Once the astral body enters the astral dimension, it must have a good supply of astral energy from the chakras in order to interact strongly with that dimension. Clear astral memory depends greatly on the amount of energy available. As the astral dimension is the natural domain of the astral body, it will not fade out of it due to a lack of energy. As in the real world, if a person hasn't eaten or slept for a few days, they don't dissolve into another dimension. They just get weak and listless and don't interact strongly with the physical world. What it boils down to is this. The astral mind must have enough energy to give it strong, vivid memories. These astral memories must be strong enough to make a good-sized wrinkle in the physical brain, so the physical mind can recall them when it wakes up. For example, if you haven't slept for a few days, you will be tired, listless, and your interaction with reality will be weak and vague. If you see a movie in this tired state, you will retain little memory of it. Afterwards, you may only remember fragments of it, and your memory of it will be a vague blur. If, however, you see a movie when you are well rested, fresh and full of energy, it is different. You take in everything about the movie and enjoy it. Your memory of it will be crystal clear. This is similar to what happens after a low-powered astral journey. The astral body lacks energy and so does not have clear enough impressions of its journey. This causes it to fail, making its memories the dominant ones when it return to the physical body. As I stated earlier, there must be strong, vivid memories if a wrinkle is to be made in the physical brain, and the experience remembered. Chakras used. Fully developing the chakras and learning how to control them can take many years, depending on natural ability. This will not, however, stop you using them in a very basic way. To enhance your OBEs and lucid dreams, at a very early stage in your development, raising energy and stimulating the chakras is extremely simple to do. This raised energy will automatically flow into your astral body prior to and during projection. By learning to raise energy and control the flow of power through the chakras, the nature of your dreams, lucid dreams, and OBEs will change. They will become vivid and unforgettable experiences. This, in a way, gives you a second life, full of rich experiences you can enjoy, learn, and grow from. Higher levels and their buffer zones, the commonly accepted names for the 7 known levels of existence from lowest to highest, are physical, astral, mental, buddhic, atmic, anupadaka, and adi. These higher planes are similar in structure to the astral dimension, but at a much higher level of consciousness, and are completely separate from it. In between the different levels are intermediary areas or buffer zones, sometimes called lower subplanes. A good analogy for the different dimensions and their buffer zones is the Earth's atmosphere. If the air in the Earth's atmosphere was the astral dimension, the stratosphere would be the buffer zone, and the vacuum of space would be the mental dimension. You can fly in the Earth's atmosphere in a normal airplane/astral body. A very powerful jet plane is needed to take you into the stratosphere, but you need a spaceship mental body to travel through space. This explains why a different subtle body is needed to travel into these different levels of existence. The astral body can enter the buffer zones or subplanes of the dimensions above and below the astral dimension if it contains the correct type of energy, i.e., to exist in the buffer zone between the physical astral levels in real time, the astral body must contain etheric energy. To exist in the buffer zone between the astral mental levels, it must contain mental energy, higher level projection. With enough control over the chakras, the energy for these higher levels can be produced. The production of one particular type of energy will raise the consciousness to that level and energize the corresponding subtle body. This is usually done by consciousness-raising meditation and advanced energy work on the chakras. The consciousness can then experience that level of existence. If enough energy is available and conditions are right, the meditator can project that particular subtle body directly into its natural dimension. Depending on the skill and natural ability of the operator, if a higher body is energized and projected, so usually are the lower ones. The astral body contains within it all the other subtle bodies and can, during a projection, project the mental body into the mental dimension and so on. This will sometimes give multiple sets of memories from the one projection. The general rule is, whichever subtle body contains the greatest amount of energy will have the strongest memories. These dominant memories will be the ones retained by the physical mind upon its return to the waking state. Projecting consciously into levels higher than the astral dimension takes a high level of skill. You need to be proficient in both consciousness raising and chakra control, but it is achievable. I have so far projected into the astral, mental, buddhic, and atmic levels of existence. It is commonly believed that it is only possible for a human to project into the astral, mental, and buddhic levels, and not possible to project into the higher adi and anupadaka. These dimensions have been named and are described, so someone must have been there, or they would be unknown. If you realize the true nature of the mind, you will understand there are no limits. It was also once said that the sound barrier would never be broken. BTW. These dimensions don't have signposts on them saying, "Welcome to the astral dimension, da," or "mental dimension, watch your mind." So I will describe the higher levels I have been to using these accepted names. The astral dimension. This is a topsy-turvy world like Alice found in Wonderland. Everything seems objective, real, but is changeable and fluid. Anything and everything can be found there, from base, coarse levels full of sexual energy, to beautiful, serene places full of spiritual harmony. Time is distorted and extended there. An hour in the astral can seem like only a few minutes here in the physical. Compared to the physical world, it is at a much higher vibration. It's like playing a videotape at 20 times normal speed, although this is not apparent when you are there. Moving amongst the astral dream pools is usually a hit or miss affair for most projectors. It takes a lot of experience to make planned astral journeys to specific realities. There are an infinite number of realities, planes, realms, and dream pools in this dimension. As I stated before, they naturally strata and settle into pools of related thought. During sleep or in a lucid dream, the subconscious mind usually creates one especially for you, your own personal dream theater. When you become aware during a dream, you take control over it. This control is taken over from the powerful subconscious mind. Without its powerful controlling influence, your personal custom-created realm will change. You will begin tuning into other sympathetic parts of the astral, and the reality you are in will mix with other realities and take on different aspects. In a conscious projection into the astral dimension, you can tune into any part of it and travel into different realities, other dream pools, or a mix of many. There are various techniques for this, but they all involve some way to disorient the subconscious mind, tricking it into moving you into a different astral reality. Some projectors look at their hands and watch them melt. Others spin around, causing left-right reversals. These methods all disorient the mind and trick the subconscious into tuning into another part of the astral. It's very difficult to describe how to move amongst the levels. You really have to learn by doing it, by trial and error. You have to learn how to use and control the subconscious mind, how to trick it for a specific result. Virtual reality projection. Here is a simple, reliable method I have developed to create your own personal realm. Get a poster of a pleasant scene, something bright and sunny. The bigger the better, but standard poster size will do. Hang it on the wall of the room you are going to project in, or another room close by. Get a small spotlight and set it so the poster is highlighted when the main light is turned off. A normal directional bedside lamp will do. Place the lights under or above, so the light spreads out over it, giving a diffused effect, illuminating it. A bit like a movie screen. Entering your custom realm, when you project, go towards the poster, keeping your mind blank. Don't think about what you're doing. Just gaze at it and move towards it. As you approach it in this way, your subconscious mind will be tricked into creating an astral realm exactly like the poster. Just move up to and into the poster. It is like stepping into another world. Everything in this world will be exactly like in the poster. It will appear to be a normal three-dimensional world, an exact copy, indistinguishable from reality. To customize this world, cut and paste small pictures of things or people you want to find in this world with you when you enter it. Don't just stick a whole picture on the poster. Get scissors and cut around the object or person. Try and find pictures that are approximately the same scale as the poster. If you cut out a small picture of someone, living or dead, your subconscious will create a thought-formed shell of them, and they will be there, waiting for you. This may be an excellent way of communicating with those that have died. Spirit communication, I have a theory. The subconscious creates this thought-formed shell of a person. This shell can be animated by the perfect, detailed memory of your subconscious. But if there is love there, between the projector and this created person, the spirit of this deceased person will be drawn to this scenario and will use this opportunity to communicate with the projector by animating the created image of their body. The Akashic Record. These are found in the buffer zone between the astral and mental worlds. Part astral, part mental, and, in a way, extending into all levels. They are a record of every thought and event that has ever occurred, like a huge, infinite mental history picture book. The Akashic Records also contain probabilities stemming from and created by past events, actions, and thoughts. This is like looking into the future. To make any kind of sense of the Akashic Records yourself, some skill in clairvoyance is a definite help. If you tune into the Akashic Records yourself, you will normally see those events with the greatest amount of energy around them. Wars and disasters are the easiest to see because of this. The energies surrounding these events make them stand out above all the rest, making them easier to see. If you look into the future, the area of probabilities, you enter into a confusing maelstrom of symbolism mixed with actual events. This future symbolism is caused by the belief systems of the major religions. Millions of people in the world have believed in some form of prophecy for thousands of years. Whether it is the Bible's book of Revelations or the prophecies of Nostradamus. These ancient prophecies are all richly steeped in symbolism. This symbolism affects the way people think and dream about the future. This symbolism, in turn, manifests in the Akashic Records as symbolic representations of future events. The symbolism is a big help. It makes consulting the Akashic Records easier. You can use the Akashic symbolism as an index. For example, the reference below to the dogs of war is easily understandable as representing war. The Grim Reaper is a universal symbol of death and destruction. So, if you are interested in this kind of future event, you tune into this symbolic index for WAR. Then browse through the category of past and future wars. Apart from some clairvoyant ability, a knowledge of history, geography, religious symbolism, current affairs, world leaders, and heads of state is a big help when indexing past and future events. For example, in the future vision I give below, if I had known who the well-known person I saw addressing a crowd below WAS and recognized the country, I could have made an accurate prediction of future events instead of being wise after the event. I entered the state of consciousness called the Akashic Records. There I was inundated with a mass of symbolism. I was seeing in 4 dimensions at once. My conscious mind did not assimilate this very well. I saw wars, famines, plagues, disasters, earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, plane crashes, murders, etc. It was terribly confusing and depressing. I saw one piece of symbolism I recognized, though, and tuned into it, indexed it. The Grim Reaper holding the dogs of war, as described by various prophets. These dogs were fearsome beasts with red eyes and slavering jaws. They were held in check by this hooded figure, with an evil skull for a face, carrying a sickle. He released these dogs as I watched, symbolizing a coming war. Tuning into this scene, I was there floating above it all. I could feel the sunshine and smell the city below me. I saw a man standing on a raised dais, under 2 giant scimitar swords. He was giving a charismatic speech to many thousands of people. One of the swords turned into a Christian crusader's broadsword. The man was Saddam Hussein. The scene was in Baghdad, at the monument to the unknown soldier. I saw this 6 months before the Gulf War started. I did not learn who Saddam Hussein was or where this scene took place, though. until it was televised during the Gulf War. Looking through the Akashic Records is like leafing through an infinite mental photo album. You are bombarded with an awesome array of the sights and sounds of past, present, and probable futures. You have to select one of these thought records, tune into it, and enter it. You will then live through the record as if you were really there, watching it as it happens. Consulting with the Akashic Records can be done alone if you have the skill, but is normally done with the assistance of an advanced being from a higher level of existence. This is done as a sort of telepathic guided tour. The enormous amount of information and chaff is filtered out for you, and the selected record of past events or future probability is presented to you clairvoyantly via a telepathic link with the librarian. Some people claim to have entered the Akashic Records and found something like a library there with real books. The past, present, and future was recorded as text in these books. Some people even say they have read a record, then entered into it and experienced the record firsthand. All these claims are consistent with the Akashic Records. These are librarian-assisted guided tours, where the Akashic Records have been presented as something familiar, easy to use, and easy to accept, the mental dimension. This is a spectacular dimension, and iridescent rivers of sound bounded by rainbow shores of pulsating light. Thoughts appear as kaleidoscopic patterns of light and sound. You walk across fields of ideas under a sparkling crystal sky of inspiration. If you enter this world, don't try to rationalize or understand it, or you may go mad, for it is beyond human understanding. Just accept it all, go with the flow and enjoy it. This dimension is what I believe the ancient Vikings called the famed Rainbow Bridge into Asgard. It truly looks and feels as if you are walking up a rainbow into some wonderful world where the gods must surely dwell. Exist here in wondrous amazement. Let loose the child within you to play in this fairy wonderland. Everything feels real and solid. Time is even further distorted here than in the astral, and reality is kaleidoscopic of a Buddhic dimension. This is a warm, abstract world filled with utter peace and infinite love. It is a dimension of pure white. There is no sight or sound perception here other than the all-pervading, brilliant light. In this dimension, you very quickly relinquish conscious thought and individuality. You cannot think for long once you enter here, and there is no need or desire to do so. There is an irresistible urge drawing you into a quiet stillness. It is like being immersed in warm, pure, white cotton wool. In this world, you cease to be an individual, and you become part of the one. You also cease to be male or female. In a way, this is like returning to the mother's womb. You are surrounded, absorbed, and assimilated by infinite loving warmth, understanding, forgiveness, and atonement. At one moment, time here ceases to have any meaning. If you enter this world, you will never ever want to leave it. You cannot leave it until your physical body calls and drags you back. This is the healing, resting place of the soul, Atmic dimension. This dimension appears to be the spirit world. Here, spirits wait for those they loved during their time on Earth. This is the happy place of the gathering. It is the place where the reunion of souls takes place. The light in this world is purest, brightest silver, brighter than the flash of an arc welder. It is so bright it seems impossible to look at, but it is, for all that, a supremely gentle light, soft and soothing. It is the light of divine love. The people here appear as they did in the physical world, but at their most magnificent. They glow ecstatically, ablaze with the brightest love, happiness, and joy imaginable. The atmosphere is electric and vital, but at the same time, deeply spiritual. In this world, you can feel the presence of God as a tangible, all-pervading force. Communication here is done by high-level telepathic imaging, similar to one-on-one clairvoyance, only much more vivid and real. It leaves speech and thought for dead. Time stands utterly still here. Reality is more real and solid than normal reality. Compared to this, the physical world is a vague, tired dream full of half-dead people. I have entered this dimension only 4 times in my life, each time from the very deepest consciousness raising meditation, with all my chakras wide open and fully functioning. There was also extreme crown chakra activity. The feeling of this was like 1,000 fingers vibrating and deeply massaging the whole top of my head above the hairline. On these 4 occasions, my energy has soared to seemingly impossible heights within me, carrying my spirit and consciousness with it. At the climax of this deeply mystical experience, I have heard the sound of one long, pure musical note slowly rising in pitch. I have felt this note in the core of my being, in my heart, calling me, drawing me to it. I have focused on this note and attuned to it. With every ounce of strength and energy I possessed, I have focused my consciousness on it and projected to it, stripping away my physical body. I have projected straight into this dimension. It was just like slipping through a heavy curtain into another place and another world. I'm still aware of my physical body, duality, during this whole experience. I look about me with wonder. The light is so silver and bright, it burns deeply into my soul, and I can feel its healing touch within me. There in front of me is my long dead son. He was 8 years old when he left me, and he looked just as he did when I last saw him. He was beaming with happiness, his eyes bright and shining. I cuddled him up to me and wept with the joy of seeing him. I looked beyond him, and there was a large crowd of people waiting for me. These were all the friends and family I had known and loved and lost during my life. There were also many people I did not know. They all seemed very familiar, though, and I felt I loved them all. They were clapping and jumping up and down, cheering me and greeting. There were many tears of joy and lots of hugging and kissing. Looking beyond them, I see we are in a natural stone amphitheater. The ground is smooth rock, and it rises to a ridge a couple of 100 meters away that curves towards us. On the top of this ridge are angels. They looked just like Michelangelo painted them. They were incredibly beautiful, with large white feathered wings, curly golden hair, and alabaster skin. They were blowing long, sparkling golden horns, and the pure high note came from them. Stepping from the crowd, I walked into the open. I look in awe at these angels and wave at them. The note started to die away as I did this, and the angels began lowering their horns. I stand for a timeless moment in silence, looking all around me. Then everything began to shimmer, and I slipped, fell back into my physical body. I wept. I have never wanted to come back. Death. When you leave your body for the final time. At death, this is what I believe will happen. You will be projecting in real time for the first few days, close to the physical world, until your supply of etheric matter runs out. Then you will go through the second death and enter the astral dimension. There you will purge yourself of all desire by being able to have anything you have ever wanted in abundance. This is done through having the full use of your subconscious mind's powerful creative ability. Here you can saturate your every need and desire until you see these desires for the illusions they really are. You will then shed your astral, desire, body, and enter the mental dimension. There you will see your past life, examine and express every thought you have ever had and every action you have ever done. There your thoughts, memories, and experiences will be added to the Akashic Record. which is the recorded experience of the entire human existence in the physical dimension. Shedding your mental body, you will then enter the Buddhic dimension. There you will stay for timeless healing, for rest, atonement, forgiveness, and understanding of self. In this world, your inner wounds will heal, and your soul will be nurtured by divine love. Your spirit will become whole and perfect once more. Then you will shed your Buddhic body and enter the Atmic dimension. There you will wait in the divine presence for those you love. Then one day you will go on to the next level of existence, where the last great mystery of life will be revealed to you.